Hey Thompson Tribe, this is Ben Golden, aka Bassmaster Ben, giving your pro staff tip of the day. I'm going to kind of continue this with what pro staffer Nussmeyer did with the night crawler, but I'm going to do my personal favorite, which is the bullet worm. Thompson Tackle can make these in a lot of colors and a lot of options, and they do a really good job with them. Really tough stuff, and pretty awesome to have something out there on the lake that nobody else does, especially on lakes that are heavily pressured. One of my favorite ways to rig it is with a shaky head. The shaky head is one versatile way to catch a lot of bass. Weedless and just bulletproof in my opinion. And I'll show you first off how I tie it. This is an old knot an old bass fisherman showed me a long time ago. I don't know if it's any better than the rest. It's just one that's kind of stuck with me through the years and really hasn't failed me. This is with monofilament line. That's just what I prefer. There's fluorocarbon. People will debate on that all the time, but I'm old school, I guess. I like my fluorocarbon. Anyway, you run it through the eye here, basically. Run it around your finger, and then run it around here 7 times. Okay? When you get that done, take your tag in and run it up through the top loop. Get your knot started, lubricate it, slide that knot right down on the eye of that hook and pull it tight, and try not to put the hook in your finger. Then cut the tag end off. Second tip of the day, don't use your teeth. Get your pair of fingernail clippers, scissors, something. Cut your tag end off. That's just save your teeth on that. But anyway, you can see that knot there. Maybe it's hard to focus with this camera. That is one bulletproof knot. It just has done me well with fluorocarbon. All right, rigging. First thing to do, get you a bullet worm. What I like to do is take the top of it. I've already done it on this one. Cut just the top of it off. Just square it off a little bit. Make it easier to put onto your shaky head. Get it on here and start twisting it on this this part. Bring it all the way up to the head of the lead head. Don't go overboard. That's about all that'll take. And then, obviously, just like any other rig, Texas rig, whatever, put it in weedless. All right, the reason why I like this so much and how I work it, just depends on what time of the year it is, basically. Right now, spawn, post spawn. You can throw it up in there shallow, throw it up in there on their beds. With that flat head, boom, it's gonna land flat on the lake like that. And this thing's gonna sit there and dance and just aggravate them until they bite them. With that, and you're sitting there, you see a fish, sight fishing, or if you're just, you know where one's at and you're trying to get it to bite, that there just sitting there dancing will get the best of them, and they will come in and inhale it. Structure fishing. This is one of my favorite structure fishing. With all your weight and everything here, you can pitch this thing into the tightest of structures, with it being really weedless. And as you can tell, if I hold it this way, very narrow. It's really easy to fish this if you fish it long enough and be able to tell the difference between tapping a log and a bite, even if it's a real subtle bite. It really can have a benefit to that. Bouncing it on rocks, sometimes this usually ain't the best scenario for that because of the head. It'll get stuck in the corner of the rocks, but you can usually get it out of there pretty easily if you just do a little working. finesse fish with it. In the summertime, you can get it down deep. You just get you a heavier weight so it can get down there quicker and start working for you. Ledge fishing, it can do that. Grass it does fairly well. Moss and angel hair, it'll make you want to pull your hair out, because you'll catch more moss and you'll catch more angel hair than you will with anything with this head like this. It just somehow collects. That's all it wants to do is collect it. But at any rate, get you some of these bullet worms, put them on a shaky head. I mean, also you could Texas rig them. I mean, there's a million ways you can rig them to make them work, but this is just this is the one I like. Very durable, catch a lot of fish. As you've seen some of the pictures in the earlier post, this is actually the color that I've caught. I caught the 8-pounder off of earlier in the year, and really hammered some 6 and 7-pounders with it earlier in the year. It's just a very, very good good lure to use. Everybody's got their preferences on rods and reels. My main tip on that is find one that fits you. If you're a tall guy, get you a longer rod. If you're a smaller guy, get you a shorter rod. Make sure it's comfortable in your hand. Spend more money on your rod than you do your reel. That's just stuff that I think that's worked for me. It may not work for you, but I think that's just stuff that works for me. You got to be able to feel them to be able to catch them. That's just how it is. I got here, this is what I call my money making rod. It's one I've caught a lot of my fish on. It is a St. Croix Mojo Bass, 7.5 foot. I'm 6'2". It's medium heavy, moderate fast. So it ain't really a fast tip with a lot of give, just moderate. And a lot of people don't use this for shaky head fishing. They want to go with a spinning reel or combo setup. And to me, I mean, that's okay if you're trying to pitch underneath some limbs and stuff. It's a lot easier to get in, but the more you work with a bait caster, you're going to have a lot more power to pull them out of them log jams and sticks and grass and stuff like that, because you can put heavier line on these and you got a lot more leverage. For reel, just like Pro Stafford Nussmeier, I like Lew's. I've got this here is a speed spool of some kind, team speed spool laser or something. I don't know, it doesn't matter, it's just Lew's. The main thing is the gear ratio. And when you're worm fishing, jig fishing, Carolina rig, anything where you're just bouncing it off the bottom or you're just tweaking it or something, you want something that you can burn some line. Because how many times have you thrown one of them bullet worms out, or any other worm for that matter, and before you get to click the bail, your line's already taken off to the right or to the left? 7.5 to 1 ratio. One turn gets over 30 inches of line. So when you just think, I do this one time, that's 30 inches already in. You can catch up to him and get that hook set in his mouth. That's just what I use. Now, with that being said, a 7.5 to 1 ratio reel would probably not be ideal for a spinnerbait or a crankbait. Then what's going to happen is you're going to be sitting there, and that crankbait, spinnerbait that you're using, where you're usually, you got your own natural retrieving motion, and that thing is just flying because you're bringing in over 30 inches of line per turn. And you get in a tournament situation where you might be a little bit excited or a little fired up, and you're sitting here going like this. You got the boat moving, you're power fishing. Well, that spinnerbait is just gone. He just sees a flash and he don't even know what it was. He don't have no chance of catching up with it. So I dropped down to at least a 6.8, 6.5, to 1, and for some certain situations I'll even drop down to a 5.6 to 1 ratio for that. But like I said, get back to the main point is it's got to be comfortable in your hand. Figure out how you like to hold a rod. Try to get some consistency in it. Spend the money on your rod and spend your money at Thompson Tackle. Get you some good tackle. And spend your money at Thompson Tackle. Get you some good tackle. Thanks, guys. This is Ben Golden, aka Bassmaster Ben, giving you your Pro Staff tip of the day.